What is going on, everyone? The NFL draft has ended. Let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans. Drop a grade down below for General Manager Nick Caserio. If you ask me, I give it about a B. This definitely wasn't a sexy draft. However, I think this is a draft that we will look back in 2 years and say, man, Nick Caserio was really planning for the future. With that being said, the Houston Texans had 6 selections in day 3, a 4th rounder, 2 seconds, and 3 sevens. We're going to break down and check out these new Houston Texans. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calavillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, so make sure you guys are tapped in. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you guys are in my Discord. If you want to be added, let me know in the comments down below, and I will personally shoot you guys the invite. And this episode was brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Download the app, use my promo code 713HOU for a welcome on your first deposit up to $100. And thank y'all so much for watching today's episode. Now, the Houston Texans traded up in the 4th round, and with the 123 pick, they selected tight end from Ohio State, Kade Stover, and this screams CJ Stroud. I wonder if the Houston Texans are giving their franchise quarterback one selection per draft. If you remember last year, it was Tank Dell. After CJ Stroud gets drafted, Tank Dell congratulates him and says, tell them, come get me. And that's exactly what happened. CJ Stroud lets the Houston Texans know that he likes Tank Dell. They traded up in the 3rd round to get him. And here it is, Kade Stover. You are a Houston Texan, a potential #1 tight end for you in the future. His stats this year: 41 receptions for 576 yards and 5 tutties. His stats with CJ Stroud: 36 receptions, 406 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Let's look at his first look on PFF. Stover flip-flopped between linebacker and tight end at Ohio State, so it's clear he is a versatile athlete. He has a great build with good body control and balance, which shows up particularly when blocking. He is an intelligent blocker with patience and strength for his size. The Houston Texans, they are lacking a tight end that can block effectively. In the receiving game, he has reliable, strong hands for contested catches. He shows good burst out of his stance, but his long speed will not be a major difference maker at the next level. His intelligence allows him to run a diverse route tree, but his lack of lateral flexibility and explosiveness limits his separation ability beyond vertical routes. Now, notice how almost all of our draft picks, they talk about how intelligent they are as football players. And I think Kade Stover will be impactful in year 1 for the Houston Texans. We saw Dalton Schultz be successful. We saw Brevin Jordan be successful. Unfortunately, we couldn't see Team Quitoriano because he just cannot stay healthy. However, if Kade Stover is able to be available in year 1 for you, I think this is your backup tight end. I already think he's your best blocking tight end just as soon as he steps into the building, and as he continues to grow, this might be a legit weapon for the Houston Texans. Just a few selections later, 205, probably one of my favorite picks this draft, Jahar Jordan, running back from Louisville. Small running back with thin lower half who plays much tougher than his size would indicate. Unlike most smaller backs, Jordan isn't sudden or explosive. He can be a step slow through the line of scrimmage and isn't going to be much of an added yardage back with power or wiggle. However, Jordan runs with good vision and great processing, making smart cuts and taking the most efficient routes he can. He can compete for 3rd down reps and has above average talent as a kick returner. The lack of size won't hurt his draft slotting, but he has a shot when he gets into camp. Strengths: excellent job of steering blocks and hiding behind them, so great vision. Eyes and feet are linked for instant process to action transition. Plants and cuts are very crisp and angles heading downhill. Becomes more elusive as the run gets past the 2nd level. lacks size and blitz pickup, but has that dog in him to do it, a willing blocker, productive working will and seam routes out of the backfield. His weaknesses, well below NFL size, one speed runner missing an explosive burst, lacks short area wiggle to jump cut and elude early traffic, runs with decent toughness but is unlikely to break NFL tackles, and appears to lack top end speed to hit the home runs. However, I think Jordan could be effective on this Houston Texans roster. When you see the run scheme he had at Louisville, it's kind of the same as what we run here. And we were talking about another Louisville running back, Isaac Guerrero. I think Jahar Jordan was an excellent pickup for the Houston Texans. And right now, it is a battle between him and Dameon Pierce at the number 2 spot. We get into the 7th round, where the Houston Texans had 3 7th-round selections. At 238, they went with Solomon Byrd, edge rusher from USC, an edge defender with fairly productive run at both Wyoming and USC. Byrd fails to stand out physically or athletically on tape. He plays with solid aggression and play strength, but he finds himself entangled with blockers more than he should. He can be creative when attacking the tackles at the top of the rush, but he struggled to get much done when tasked when taking on some of the more talented opponents on the schedule. Byrd possesses certain play features that are worthy of consideration, but he might not have enough average above qualities to make much of a mark in the league. His strength displays adequate play strength in upper body, uses a variety of moves when attacking at the top of the rush, focused and talented at creating strip sacks when he's in the pocket, possesses lower body strength bend to sink under an edge block, and able to strike and jolt inline tight ends at the point of attack. His weaknesses: below average short area explosiveness and twitch, rush attack, lacks get off to beat quality tackles with speed, has trouble navigating around the tackles with length, tends to duck head into first contact and lose sight of play development, and setting firm edges with arm extensions can be a struggle. Look, this is a product here, and you want depth in the 7th round, and I think the Houston Texans are going to have a legit front four, so Solomon Byrd is going to have time to grow behind guys like Will Anderson Jr., Daniel Hunter, Derek Barnett, the other guys who we brought back. However, excited to see how Byrd does here on the Houston Texans. Welcome to the H. Now, with the 2nd selection in the 7th round for the Houston Texans at 247, the Houston Texans selected Marcus Harris, defensive lineman from Auburn. Now, we were wondering when the Houston Texans were going to address the interior of the defensive line, and it took them all the way to the 7th. However, I do expect someone else to be brought in. Nick Caserio talked about he is waiting for players to be released. However, playmaking interior lineman who makes up for his lack of size with quickness and instincts. Harris punches above his weight class in the strength department, utilizing upper body power and lower body balance to fight the good fight. He'll get moved around by bigger bodies, but he's relentless and has the athleticism to find his way back into plays. He has skilled hands and the lateral quickness to dive into gaps as both a run defender and a pass rusher. Harris' best chance to succeed will be as a one-gapper in an event front, where he can become a very good rotational defender or eventual starter. Where you're talking about an eventual starter in the 7th round here. His strengths: highly instinctive with skilled hands and a feel for playmaking. Clever show and go punch makes linemen fall off balance. Uses angles and first step quickness to create disruptions. Lower center of gravity maximizes contact balance and leverage. Excellent range and agility to tackle as an interior defender, and active feet and well-timed hand counters create rush chances. So it seems like the only thing wrong about Marcus Harris is that he is undersized, because when you check out the weaknesses: below average length to ripped and toss blocker off of him, undersized and gets knocked back by standard power, can be swallowed and neutralized by size, and pass rush lacks the consistent get off that his run defense has. However, I believe he did have 7 sacks. 7th round here, man. You are just looking to develop and hopefully try to add and get some PT here Remember DJ Reader? I believe he was a 5th or 6th round pick, and how great he became for the Houston Texans. Not saying that it could happen with Marcus Harris. However, when DeMeco Ryans is your head coach, man, great things could happen. Now, with the last selection in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans, at pick 249, they went with Larius Henderson, tackle from Michigan. Now, this is someone who, once he got up against the good competition, Iowa, Alabama, the guys at the Senior Bowl, he struggled. And I wonder how he is going to fit here on this Houston Texan offensive line. We went 2 tackles in this draft, Blake Fisher and now Larius Henderson. But ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the overall draft for the Houston Texans, Kamari Lassiter, pick 42, cornerback from Georgia. Blake Fisher, pick 59, tackle from Notre Dame. Kalen Bullock, pick 78, safety from USC. Pick 123, Kade Stover, tight end, Ohio State. Pick 188, Jamal Hill, linebacker from Oregon. Pick 205, Jahar Jordan, running back Louisville. Pick 238, Solomon Byrd, edge rusher USC. Pick 247, defensive lineman Marcus Harris from Auburn. And last but not least, to end this draft for the Houston Texans at 249, Larius Henderson, tackle from Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans. This definitely was a busy weekend. However, it is nowhere near over. For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Feel free and follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.